How are you guys doing? It is Saturday, October 3rd, 2020, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to take you through yesterday's elite performances while also putting you on to what to look out for today. And to start off, yesterday in the NBA, it was game 2 of the NBA Finals, and in this game, the Los Angeles Lakers, the top seed in the West, were able to beat the Miami Heat, the 5th seed out East, 124 to 114 to take a 2-0 lead in the series. Looking at to how Miami fared, their shooting guard Kendrick Nunn finished with 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists off the bench, playing 30 minutes. Their power forward Kelly Olynyk would finish with 24 points, 9 rebounds, shooting 9 for 16 from the field in 37 minutes. Out of their starters, their shooting guard Tyler Hero would finish with 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists, as he shot 5 for 12 from the field in 43 minutes. Their small forward Jay Crowder would finish with 12 points, 7 rebounds, and a couple of assists, as he shot 5 for 6 in 28 minutes. And Jimmy Butler, their small forward, would be the team's leading scorer. He finished with 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 13 assists, as their elite small forward would finish shooting 7 for 17 from the field in 45 minutes. He went 0 for 1 from 3, and then he made 11 of his 12 free throws on the night. Looking at how the Los Angeles Lakers fared off the bench, their point guard Rajon Rondo had finished with 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 10 assists in 26 minutes, as he shot 5 for 9 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3. Their power forward Kyle Kuzma out of Utah, I believe he finished with 11 points and a couple of rebounds as well. Looking at the starters, their shooting guard Kentavious Caldwell-Pope finished with 11 points and 4 boards. Anthony Davis, the Los Angeles Lakers elite power forward, would finish with 32 points, 14 rebounds on the day, as he shot 15 for 20 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3, and he made his only free throw as well. He also finished with an assist and a steal on the night while finishing with 4 fouls. And last but not least, for the Los Angeles Lakers, their GOAT small forward, LeBron James, quite arguably the best player to ever play the game of basketball. He would play 39 minutes. He would finish with 33 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists, along with a steal and a block on the day. 0 turnovers. He shot 14 for 25 from the field, 3 for 8 from 3, and he made 2 of his 5 free throw attempts. And with this win, like I said, the Los Angeles Lakers are now 2 wins away from clinching the NBA Finals. The Miami Heat still have to win 4 games in order for them to achieve the same goal. But with that said, that's what the NBA is looking like right now in their finals. Now I'm going to take you out to the WNBA to help to walk you through Game 1 of the WNBA Finals. And in this game, the Seattle Storm were able to beat the Las Vegas Aces. The Vegas Aces were the 1 seed, the Storm were the 2 seed overall. And the Seattle Storm were able to take Game 1, winning 93-80. For the Las Vegas Aces, off the bench, their guards, Young would finish with 12 points and 4 assists. McBride would finish with 13 points and 4 assists as well. Robinson would finish with 10 points and 5 rebounds. This is for Las Vegas. Angel McCoughtry would finish with 20 points and 9 rebounds. And, of course, the 2020 WNBA MVP, A'ja Wilson, finished with 19 points, 6 rebounds. She shot 6 for 20 from the field, and she made 7 of her 8 free throws on the night. Looking out to Seattle, off the bench, Prince would finish with 11 points and 3 steals. Looking to the starters, it was mainly between... So first, Sue Bird, their point guard, future Hall of Fame point guard, she'd finish with 2 points, 5 rebounds, and 16 assists on the night. Additionally, Jewel Lloyd, their other guard, she finished with 28 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. She shot 11 for 17 from the field in 31 minutes. And their best player, the best performance of the night, will go to Seattle Storm forward Breanna Stewart, who'd finish with 37 points and 15 rebounds, along with 4 blocks, as she shot 15 for 24 from the field, 5 for 8 from 3, and she made both of her free throws on the night. Moving on, taking you out to global soccer. There was only really one big game from yesterday, but of course it was a big one. Not crazy big of a game, but of course it was a notable one. PSG took on Angers yesterday in Ligue 1, and they were able to win 6-1 pretty easily. Fiorenzi would finish with the goal. Neymar, their elite forward, would finish with 2 goals on the night. Kylian Mbappe he scored the 6th and final goal in the 84th minute for PSG, and he also finished with a couple of assists. Neymar's first goal off the assist from Mbappe, their second goal as a team, was a very amazing one. But with that, I think PSG is moving up a little bit in Ligue 1. After losing their first game, they're still moving up. And then looking out to what to look forward to today in all soccer action. In the Bundesliga, Borussia Dortmund's going to take on SC Freiburg. Borussia Dortmund already has one loss on the Bundesliga season, so they're trying to march their way back up to the very top of the table. RB Leipzig takes on Schalke. Looking out to the Premier League, Chelsea's going to take on Crystal Palace at 7:30. That's going to be a big game as well because Chelsea's still trying to inflict their damage, trying to show the Premier League how good they are. Manchester City's going to take on Leeds United at 12:30. That's going to be a pretty big game as Manchester City is still trying to find their groove as they're transitioning into this season. And then also looking at La Liga, Atletico Madrid is going to take on Villarreal at 10 o'clock. And those are really the big games to look forward to today because it's soccer. And transitioning to baseball, of course, there were two final games to be played in the wild card round. In the first one, for a chance to play the Atlanta Braves in the National League Division Series, the Miami Marlins completely blanked the Chicago Cubs 2-0 last night to win their seventh series as a franchise. They still haven't lost a series. The other two times they made it to the playoffs, they won the World Series. So the Marlins, after beating the Cubs yesterday, they still have yet to lose a playoff series in their very short yet very rich franchise history in their very short playoff history. But looking out to how both teams fared for the Chicago Cubs, Yu Darvish would get the start and he would pick up the loss. He would allow 2 earned runs and 6.2 innings pitched, striking out 6 batters on the night. Kimbrel will come in and help in as well. In Jeffers, they would hold them scoreless. But looking out to how they played, it was basically a scoreless game for both sides. For the Miami Marlins, first Garrett Cooper hit a home run, but then Lewis Brinson hit a double and they needed to walk someone, and then Brinson was able to score all the way from second off of Magneuris Sierra single. But looking at how the Cubs did offensively, their center fielder, in their final game, by the way, their center fielder, Ian Happ, would go 2 for 4 on the day. Their elite third baseman Chris Bryant would go 0 for 4 in his final game for his final game this season with the Cubs. Their right fielder Jason Hayward would go 2 for 3. Their elite shortstop Javi Baez would go 0 for 4 as he struck out twice. And like I said, this will be the curtain call for the Chicago Cubs season after winning the NL Central. They're the only team in the National League to win their division and not advance. They, along with the Minnesota Twins, are the two teams that won their division and didn't advance through the wild card. Both teams won the Central Division too, so I think that's kind of wild. But then continuing on, looking out to how Miami fared, Sixto Sanchez would get the start. He would allow no earned runs and strike out 6 batters and 5 innings pitched. And looking up to how their offense fared, their first baseman Garrett Cooper would go 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run as he hit a solo home run in the 7th inning that would put them up. And then Magneuris Sierra, their center fielder, would go 1 for 3 with an RBI. And with this, the Miami Marlins would sweep the Chicago Cubs. And like I said, they are slated to face off against the Atlanta Braves in the National League playoff bubble. And then last but not least, taking you to the final game of the night, the only National League game that went to 3 games, the only National League series that went to 3 games. It was between the St. Louis Cardinals and the San Diego Padres, the two teams that finished 4 and 5 in the National League. And in this one, the San Diego Padres would blank the Cardinals 4-0 to take it for a chance to advance and take on their division rivals, the Los Angeles Dodgers, in the second round of these playoffs. Looking at how the St. Louis Cardinals fared, Jack Flaherty, their elite starting pitcher, would get his first and only loss of the playoffs. He would allow 1 earned run and 6 innings pitched, striking out 8 batters on the day. His performance would go up with his former high school teammates Lucas Giolito for the White Sox and Max Fried for the Atlanta Braves. But looking at how St. Louis' offense did, there was no one on their team who would get more than 2 hits as they were held to 4 hits as a team. Colton Wong would finish 1 for 4. Tommy Edman would go 1 for 4. Carlson would go 1 for 4. And Yadier Molina, the Cardinals' future Hall of Fame catcher, would go 1 for 3 on the day as he walked. And then looking at to how San Diego scored. First of all, there was no score until San Diego scored in the bottom of the 5th inning. It was an Eric Hosmer double to bring Fernando Tatis home. And then bottom of the 7th, the bases were loaded. Not that heads up of a play by Tommy Edman as he caught it up the line. He didn't even step on the bag and still missed the throw home. So they still got no outs, and the Padres were able to score on that. Eric Hosmer was able to walk with the bases loaded. And then in the eighth, Jake Cronenworth, the San Diego Padres rookie, was able to hit his first career postseason home run in the eighth to put the Padres up 4-0. And looking at how the Padres defense did, first off, Stammen will get the start, and it would be a complete bullpen. It'll be a complete bullpen performance for the San Diego Padres, as they literally had 9 pitchers pitching in the game, but it was all to get their team across the finish line. Looking at how their offense fared, their elite shortstop Fernando Tatis Jr. would go 1 for 2 with a run on the day as he walked twice. Their elite third baseman Manny Machado will go 0 for 4 as he had an RBI off of the fielder's choice. Their first baseman Eric Hosmer will go 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Their designated hitter Mitch Moreland will go 2 for 4, and their rookie second baseman Jake Cronenworth will go 3 for 4 with an RBI and 2 runs. And with this win, the Padres win this series 2-1, and they will advance to take on the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Milwaukee Brewers. And then looking out to how those games are going to be played, the first game of division series action will take place on Monday, as the Astros will take on the 6th seed Houston Astros will take on the 2nd seed Oakland Athletics, and the number 1 seed Tampa Bay Rays are going to take on the number 5 seed New York Yankees. And then looking out to the National League, the division series will start on Tuesday as the Padres take on the Dodgers and the Marlins take on the Braves, as those times are still being figured out. But with that said, I'm going to jump finally into college football because it is Saturday, just to give you just to nudge you into what to look forward to for today's games. Starting off at 12 o'clock, 3rd seed Florida is hosting South Carolina. They're led by Kyle Trask. That's going to be a very big game on ESPN. Also at 12, 9th-ranked Texas is going to take on TCU on Fox. 21st-ranked Tennessee is going to take on Mizzou at 12 o'clock on SEC Network. 24th-ranked Pittsburgh is going to take on NC State on ACC Network. Jumping to the 3:30 games, 13th-ranked Texas A&M is going to face off against second-ranked Alabama on CBS at 3:30. 12th-ranked UNC is going to take on Boston College on ABC. 15th-ranked Cincinnati is going to take on South Florida on ESPN+. 17th-ranked Oklahoma State is going to take on Kansas on ESPN. 25th ranked Memphis is going to face off against SMU on ESPN2. And jumping to the 7:30 games, 7th ranked Auburn is going to take on 4th ranked Georgia on ESPN. Tulsa is going to take on 11th ranked UCF on ESPN2. Arkansas is going to take on 16th ranked Mississippi State on SEC Network Alternative. And then 18th ranked Oklahoma is going to take on Iowa State after losing their last game. And then the last 7:30 game of the night, the defending champs, the 20th ranked LSU Tigers, are going to take on Vanderbilt at 7:30 on SEC Network. Jumping out to the 8 o'clock game, the top ranked Clemson Tigers are going to face off and host the Virginia Cavaliers at 8 o'clock, led by Trevor Lawrence, as they try to seek their 3-0 start for yet another season in there, just to start off this season. But with this said, I really appreciate you for listening to this piece. Once again, it is Saturday, October 3rd, 2020, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims. Thank you for listening to all 13 minutes of my piece, and peace out.